Chapter 111. Just be happy. The bone knife was inserted into Gu Hai's abdomen. Mu Chunfeng, Long Sanqian, and Sima Changkong all stared in disbelief. Gu Hai was too desperate to please his sister-in-law, right? Harikiri. Long Wenyu is forcing Gu Hai to commit suicide at this moment. That's because she's in a fit of anger. Long Wen King's death hit her too hard. She feels like anyone is an enemy. However, when this anger passes, Long Wenyu will be able to understand it, right? But you, in order for her to dissipate the fire, really listen to her, Harikiri. Long Wenyu was also trembling when she saw Gu Hai insert the bone knife into her abdomen to begin with. Although she had always wanted to kill Gu Hai to avenge her sister, but the moment she saw Gu Hai really being forced to die by herself, Long Wenyu didn't have the happiness that she should have, and didn't have the catharsis of avenging her sister's death at all. And in that split second, there was a feeling as if she had made a mistake. Long Wenyu, Master Liu Nian steeply roared. Snap! Instinctively, Long Wenyu's long whip flung over, but was caught in Master Liu Nian's hand with a palm. Enough! Master Liu Nian glared angrily. Flinging his long whip violently, Master Liu Nian's face was hideous as he said, "This is the result you want, forcing Gu Hai to die. Let Gu Hai die. This is the revenge for Wanqing. Do you know how sad Wanqing would be if she were alive and saw you forcing Gu Hai to die like this? He killed my sister. He deserves to die." Long Wenyu screamed with red eyes. However, her voice was much lower at the moment. "The one who killed your sister was Lu Yong. Your sister spent her life protecting this man, yet you forced him to die. He's your brother-in-law, Long Wanqing's husband." Master Liu Nian drank. Long Wenyu suddenly cried out. This moment of crying out, but it was as if she wanted to explode all the grievances in her heart. On the side, Sima Changkong, Long Sanqian, and Mu Chunfeng did not dare to interrupt. "Master, you don't need to be harsh on Long Wenyu. It's good that she's happy." Gu Hai's voice came instead. Hearing Gu Hai's voice, Long Wenyu suddenly developed a feeling of regret. He had forced Gu Hai to die. Was his sister's revenge avenged now? Would sister be happy? "Gu Hai, hurry. Don't commit Harikiri again," Master Liu Nian exclaimed. There. The absolute life blade once again inserted a large portion into the abdomen. Long Wenyu raised her head and instantly saw that there was still a small section of the bone knife left outside. Long Wenyu's face changed. She opened her mouth, wanting to say "don't insert it," but the words that came to her mouth didn't know how to speak. "Long Wenyu, remember your words. You and I have a grudge. It's written off." Gu Hai faintly smiled. Long Wenyu bit her lips. Her eyes contained a color of panic. Right now, Gu Hai really committed Harikiri. He really committed Harikiri. The pores of Long Wenyu's entire body were drilled with cold air in general. Snap! Gu Hai probed his hand and slapped the last small section of the bone knife handle together into the abdomen. "Your Majesty," the crowd of courtiers immediately said with horror on their faces. Master Liu Nian, Sima Changkong, Long Sanqian, and Mu Chunfeng all had anxious faces. "Don't," Long Wenyu's voice was very soft, and a look of regret appeared on her face. However, everything was too late. The bone knife had already been thoroughly inserted into Gu Hai's abdomen. Everything was already over. "Gao Xianzi, fetch me some clothes," Gu Hai slowly said. The surrounding crowd, who were worried about Gu Hai, were however slightly stunned. The painting style was not right. Shouldn't Gu Hai have fallen down? Where's the wound? Where is Gu Hai's abdominal wound? The wound recovered. There's not even a scar now. This is Harikiri, Master Liu Nian, Sima Changkong, Long Wenyu. The crowd was silent for a good while, and the group of Great Han officials who were so anxious that they were about to cry. All of their faces stiffened, and the tears that were just about to fall all shrank back. "His Majesty is actually fine. Really nothing." The Emperor's forehead did not have a trace of sweat. his face as usual, his temperament as usual. There is not even a scar on his abdomen. Just now could it be that my eyes were blurred? On the side, Gao Xianzi was stunned and immediately took a set of clothes over. You lied to me, Gu Hai, you lied to me. Long Wen Yu's previous regret was gone, her eyes filled with indignation. Why did I lie to you? Gu Hai frowned. You just used a blindfold. You didn't insert the bone knife into your abdomen at all. At all. No, 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 no. Long Wen Yu angrily accused Gu Hai, but halfway through the accusation, her voice suddenly got stuck in general. Not only Long Wen Yu, everyone's eyes were about to stare prominently, looking at Gu Hai's abdomen in shock. But saw Gu Hai abdomen, slowly, from the body emerged a bone knife handle. Is the bone knife. It wasn't some magic trick, nor was it a blindfold, really. The bone knife was really inserted into its abdomen. You. Long Wen Yu pointed at Gu Hai, half knowing what to accuse. It was really possible to insert the bone knife into its abdomen. It could still emerge. How can it still emerge? Wanqing has a word for everything. Long Wen Yu, I hope you won't disappoint me by going back on your word either, Gu Hai said indifferently. As he spoke, he probed his hand and pressed his index finger at the handle of the bone knife and pressed it into his abdomen. Sima Changkong, Master Liu Nian, Long Sanqian. The crowd felt a flock of crows flying over their heads in general, and that atmosphere was so awkward that no one could utter a single sound. Nima, your stomach can be stuffed into the bone knife. You said it earlier, causing us to worry with you for half a day. After the crowd was speechless for a while, they looked at Long Wen Yu together. The eyes seemed to be inquiring. People, Gu Hai has already cut his stomach. You should be content. Although Gu Hai cut his stomach to kill himself as easily as drinking a glass of water. But who made you choose this way? You said something, you won't fail to honor it, right? Long Wen Yu for a moment felt that all gazes were staring at her, as if looking at herself like an idiot. Looking just like that, as if everyone was waiting for her to admit that she was an idiot. And also the kind of person who would say it herself. Looking at the distant set of clothes Gu Hai, Long Wen Yu an instant eyes red again. This time it wasn't just hatred, there was also a great aggression in general. Gu Hai, I hate you. I'm not done with you, Long Wen Yu indignantly yelled. What are you looking at? Where is the flying boat? Let's go. Long Wen Yu cracked a whip on Sima Feng on the side. Oh, Sima Feng immediately took out the flying boat. Long Wen Yu stepped onto the flying boat. With a few subordinates, she quickly shot off into the distance. She didn't want to stay here. Long Wen Yu ran away. Long Sanqian and Sima Changkong opened their mouths, and several times the words on their lips wanted to ask, but they restrained themselves. Flowing Ye's master flew in front of Gu Hai and said, with a slight burst of bitter laughter, Still you have a way to stop Long Wen Yu. Alas, it just happened by chance. It's good that she's happy. Gu Hai smiled slightly with a bitter smile. Gu Hai had earlier listened to Long Wen Yu's character and had anticipated that one day, when he met with Long Wen Yu, there would definitely be a good deal of conflict. However, now it seemed that this first meeting was quite easy to get through. Mr. Gu, you're finally here. Sima Changkong also smiled and flew forward. However, Sima Changkong, like Long Sanqian, always looked at Gu Hai with a strange gaze. In the Great Ying dynasty, there was an area that had been set aside separately by Liu Yong, and the fog was so thick that it was impossible to see everything inside. Liu Yong stood at the mouth of a large hall, looking at this foggy area. Behind him stood Broken Army respectfully. Dragon Divine Martial Army. Is there any movement? Liu Yong said in a deep voice. Not yet. It has been blocked for the time being. Not daring to march one more step, Your Majesty. With me and Mr. Dongfang taking action. The Dragon God Marshal will never think of stepping in one more step. Should have let me and Mr. Dongfang take action a long time ago. If it wasn't for Mo Yike repeatedly requesting for the other armies to take action, There wouldn't be 7 defeats and 1 victory. A wave of pride flashed in Broken Army's eyes and said. Liu Yang's eyes narrowed slightly. Mr. Mo. Although Mr. Mo has made me suspicious this time, but what he said is not wrong. An army cannot have only 1 ace in the hole. It shouldn't matter who's missing except for the commander-in-chief. Yes. Broken Army's face stiffened. Apparently he had gotten a little carried away just now, as if he couldn't do it without himself. Mr. Dongfang is inside, Liu Yong said in a deep voice. Emperor dying. Inside please. A childlike voice came from within. Rumble. The foggy area steeply cracked open a huge slit, and Liu Yong and the Broken Army stepped in. Let me go. Help. Spare my life. Spare my life. A burst of cries and howls came from within the great formation. The 2 of them stepped into the cloud mist formation, and the formation rumbled and closed. Into the eyes, this big formation internal, as if Ashura held general, the center of a super huge pool, burning a cluster of clusters of ghost blue flame, while the flame, but there is a transparent figure in the pool struggling in general. This is the ghosts of the battle deaths of the 2 armies. Liu Yong frowned. Yes, there are those of the Dragon Divine Warrior Army, as well as there are also those of our army. The Broken Army nodded. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, I was loyal and devoted to the country. Why is it that when we die, we are not allowed to be reincarnated, and we are put into the pool to be roasted and refined? A general-like ghost shrieked when he saw Liu Yong. He's King Liu Yong, you devil. His Majesty's army will definitely destroy you. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, I am loyal to you. In the ghost pond, countless unjust ghosts who died in battle cried out in terror. Shut up, a childish voice resounded once again. However, it was seen that at the edge of the ghost pool, on top of a huge platform, was standing a white-robed child general. The child was wrapped in a white robe, unable to see his face. Devil, devil, don't refine me, don't refine me. That's the longevity master, taking away people's longevity. He's going to train all 3 of our souls into supplements for his cultivation. The 2 armies fought, all the ghosts. No one escaped, all were captured, all were captured. No, Your Majesty, I died in the war for the great Ying dynasty. I don't ask Your Majesty to avenge my death. I beg Your Majesty to let me reincarnate. Among the countless ghosts clamoring, really noisy, humph, the white-robed child's voice came again. A probing hand was waved. Boom. Steeply, the rolling blue flames instantly skyrocketed, forming a super flaming pot cover in general, covering all the ghosts in the ghost pool, so that the voices of the group of ghosts could not be transmitted. Instead, Broken Army and Liu Yong walks over to the white-robed boy. Mr. Dongfang, it's just as well that you're collecting the ghosts of the Dragon God's martial army. Why do you still need 2? Liu Yong frowned. Ma Dongfang's voice came out. Liu Yong frowned and said, just as well, you refine it. This isn't enough. I want more people to die. More people to die. I want more ghosts. Ma Dongfang looked at Liu Yong.